Hello, everyone. Well, it's that time of year again. The Festival of the Mother is coming to an end. It ends today. The Festival of the Mother ends today, and today is called Day of Her Grace. Day of Her Grace falls on the Wednesday after Mother's Day, whereas Heavenly Mother's Day falls on the Wednesday before Mother's Day. So today and Mother's Day is, we call that Earthly Mother's Day. So this is Day of Her Grace, and it's a day when we ask Goddess for forgiveness of sins, and also when we forgive others. And you're not obligated to forgive everyone, but if you if you do decide to forgive someone on Day of Her Grace, that's considered good luck and goes a long way toward Goddess forgiving you. So today on Day of Her Grace, think back over the past year. Go over the past year in your mind and think about who you want to forgive and who has wronged you that you really feel like forgiving, and then pray to the Goddess, pray to the Mother, and ask the Mother, to your heavenly Mother, to forgive you of your sins. And also, don't forget to forgive Maleficent for her part. Maleficent causes mischief for all of us. And because Maleficent causes mischief for all of us, she is badly in need of our forgiveness. So don't forget to forgive Maleficent, and ask the great good Goddess for forgiveness, the Mother. Ask her for forgiveness, and just go over in your mind what it is that you would need forgiveness for, what you need forgiven. And when you go over what you need forgiven and in your mind, you'll know when you pray to the Heavenly Mother, what the great good Goddess, what to ask for forgiveness for, because she can forgive sins. But if you've hurt someone, it's good to ask them for forgiveness directly, because the Goddess can't forgive what you've done, a wrong done to others, if they haven't forgiven you themselves. So be sure to ask on this day someone close to you for forgiveness, and someone that you've wronged for forgiveness. Because Heavenly Mother's Day, that's the day that we ask the great good Goddess for forgiveness, and forgive Maleficent and forgive others their wrongs as well. So that sounds a little bit complicated, but it really isn't. It's really not. There's 4 steps to follow. 1, figure out what you need forgiveness for, and forgive what you need forgiveness for, and ask others for forgiveness for those things. 2, ask Heavenly Mother for forgiveness for things you've done wrong. 3, forgive Maleficent for things that she's done to you. And 4, forgive others for things they've done to you. So it's a 4-step process. And so today is Day of Her Grace, and today is the day for forgiveness. Now, you don't have to forgive everyone. Trust me on this. You do not have to forgive everyone their wrongs, because some people have done things that are so egregious and so wrong that they don't deserve to be forgiven. But because they need to have that karma. When you forgive someone, okay, when you forgive someone, they never pay for what they did. They don't even have to be sorry. They don't have to be sorry. If you forgive them, they never, ever, ever suffer any consequences for what they did. They're free. So think about that for a second. Forgiveness is really a powerful tool, and it can be misused. So if someone needs to have all their karma come to them, if someone needs that, if someone has a deep need for all of their karma to come home to roost, to pay for what they've done, to pay for their sins, that doesn't make sense to forgive that person, because they need to experience the wrongs that they've done to others. So be choosy. Be choosy about who you choose to forgive, whom you choose not to forgive. And so this reminds me of, on this day, it reminds me of my ex-friend. I'm not going to use her name here, but my ex-friend, she was very, very, very negative. Okay, not naming names now, but she was very negative, very cruel, and she broke up our friendship. And I am willing to forgive her, but I think that she's the type that will never, ever, ever learn her lesson unless I don't forgive her. She won't learn her lesson, because what she did to me, she said that because I'm disabled, that she thought that I would become a criminal, and that she was afraid that this might happen to me. So she told me this story about this disabled person that she knew who became a criminal. And she told me this story in excruciating detail. She said that this friend of hers was a schizophrenic, and that her mother was a schizophrenic also, and that she was looking at other people's mail. She was looking at her mail in her mailbox, and then later she heard that the person had gone to prison for some sort of fraud, and that she was afraid that I would do the same thing and I would go to prison just because we were both schizophrenics. And I was so disgusted by this story. So why did you even bother telling me this story? Or did you make it up? So it doesn't matter whether she made it up or not, although it does sort of matter in the grander scheme of things whether she made it up or not, because if she made it up, then it's even more egregious. But as far as I was concerned, I did not want to hear this story, and I did not like this story. And so my ex-friend, I had nothing more to do with her, because if she thinks that I'm a criminal, that I'm like a common criminal, and that I'm going to go to prison or to jail for some crime, and she thinks that I'm a criminal just because I happen to have a disability. Just because I happen to have a disability doesn't mean I'm going to jail. And I was so furious with her at the time, and I wasn't ready to forgive her. I may forgive her now, but I think that if I forgive her now, she'll never learn her lesson, ever, ever. Because she's so negative, and she's so full of herself. She's so arrogant. She's the most arrogant person I've ever, and she likes to say, in my humble opinion, pretending to be humble and saying that that's the absolute truth, that she's humble when she's so arrogant. She acts so arrogantly, and then she claims to be humble. It's sickening. It's just disgusting. She makes me sick. So I don't want to have anything more to do with her, and that's the truth. I just want to forget about her, and that's the best thing to do in certain situations. It's just to forget about someone who's been very mean and nasty to you. It's better to forget them. Not forgive, but just forget. because if you forget about them, you leave their punishment in Goddess's hands without without you know getting even yourself. Without getting even yourself, you leave it in Goddess's hands to punish the person however they need to be punished, and have whatever life experience that they need to have, that they need to experience to resolve the issue. I'll give you another example. My father, he abused me, and I'm disabled today because of him. He wanted me to become a schizophrenic, and he knew that what he did to me would cause schizophrenia. He knew it. He knew that he could induce schizophrenia. Now, why would you want to induce schizophrenia in a child? Child doesn't know any better and doesn't know anything that's happening around them except what input you give them. And I did not deserve that. I didn't do anything to him, anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong to him, and he did this to me. So I'm still suffering for it today. He yelled, "Suffer, child, suffer," and I'm still suffering for it. I'm still suffering. So he doesn't get forgiven. Sorry, nope. He doesn't get forgiven. He's got to experience, and I'm not about to be the one to punish him. So I'm leaving it in Goddess's hands. Leave it in Goddess's hands to punish, and give up my right to relinquish my right to be the punisher, and leave it in Goddess's hands so she can punish him for what he's done wrong, because he really needs punishment. That's all I can say, is that he really needs to be punished, and I don't know what it is that's going to reform him. I don't know what will happen to him that's going to reform him, because he's a pedophile, and pedophilia is really sick, but he also is a murderer. So he's the ultimate in narcissistic personality disorder. He's the ultimate narcissist, and he really needs to be punished. But I don't know how or when he's going to be punished. I just know that he'll be punished, and I don't want to be around to watch it. So that's it for Day of Her Grace. I would like to leave you with an example of someone that I can forgive. I can forgive my mother for the ordinary things she says. That she says such shocking things. My mom can be quite shocking, and she says things that bother me, but I can forgive her for that. I can forgive her for bothering me, because that's not something that's too bad. I can forgive her. I can forgive my mom for saying things that bother me, because she can't help it. She really can't help saying these things. I don't know how she got to be this way. It has something to do with her past, and it's a secret. It's a mystery that's hidden from me. I suspect that it had something to do with my grandfather, because there's always a man in the middle of every problem that a woman faces in her life. There's always a man involved, always a man behind it. So I suspect my grandfather, but I have no proof. I have no proof it was my grandfather, but I think it was. That causes my mom to say these weird, outrageous things sometimes, and things that bother me a lot. But I can forgive my mom for that. So that's somebody I'm going to forgive this heavenly, this Day of Her Grace. I'm going to forgive my mom for causing me anxiety, and also forgive my classmates that have said things that bother me, that were opposed to me and trying to cause me trouble. I forgive them too. So that's it. Have a great day of her grace. I hope you enjoyed Mother's Day with your families. And I hope you enjoyed the Festival of the Mother too. And I'll see you next time.